you get the privilege of sitting down with people every day. It's a really fun part of your job. You sit down with them, you start talking, getting ready to talk about their retirement vision. But one thing that comes up a lot of times is, how do I stack up? It's kind of a normal human reaction, right? We all do this. How's your bracket doing? What's keeping up with the Joneses? A real familiar phase. So, Chawn, you're the one who kind of first brought this concept forward as something, we want to talk about on the TV show. Why do you think people are asking this question, and when does it come up?
The old average question, right? Let's get out and measure. How do I stack up? What does our picture look like? The reason that we get that question so often is because there is so much uncertainty when it comes to planning for retirement. Our families are coming to us, we're meeting with individuals and families, and you guys are looking for confidence and clarity as you approach all these decisions that they're going to be facing, both now in the pre-retirement stage of life and as they continue through their retirement journey.
I think part of the reason we get this question as well is basically throughout their entire accumulation phase, they're in the back of their mind, if they're not having conversations with their friends and coworkers about where you at from a retirement standpoint, here's where I'm at. If they're not having those conversations, they're wondering it throughout their entire accumulation years. And then they get to the pre-retirement phase where retirement's right on that doorstep, and now they're really starting to wonder. So they're sitting in front of us who we have retired hundreds of times, and it's just a natural question. How do I stack up? Where am I at compared to a lot of other families you work with? It's a curiosity point that people have wondered about a very long time, and they feel like that's an opportunity to ask.
Yeah, and you guys obviously both have been doing this for a long time, so you've seen all kinds of portfolios, from certain amounts to large amounts to everywhere in between. And I don't suspect that the conversations that you're having with people are, how much do you have in your 401k? I mean, I don't think that those are people that they're having peer-to-peer conversations. So you guys seem like a comfortable place to be like, hey, do I stack up? But Loren, when we first started talking about this, you said it's not really what they want to know. How do I stack up? There's really another question they want answered.
Most of the time, what you really want to know is it going to be okay? Do you have enough to do what you want to do now for the rest of your life when you know you're not going to have that W-2 income coming in? That's really what they're looking for. Do I have enough? And through the planning process, and this is one of the most rewarding aspects of what it is that we get to do, is we get to take our families from basically point A of retirement planning, they're making that transition, all the way through the course of their retirement, and we get to see them live this retirement vision, their retirement vision, and then help them and guide them along these financial decisions that they have to make. And it's at that point where they learn that the answer to that question, do they have enough? That's kind of a fun point in time for us, because many of the times after our planning, they can visually see that they have enough. And if they don't have enough, that's okay too, because now we can take some specific action steps to help improve their situation. So one day they can answer that question affirmatively that they do have enough.
Yeah, and I assume, like myself anyways, I'd want to know right away, hey, Chawn, Loren, do I have enough? And you're going to go, okay, wait a minute, Molly. There's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about before I can say yes or no to you. So let's walk people through a little bit with, Chawn, what we do to kind of help people answer that question.
We know we're specialists within this industry. There's a ton of financial advisors out there, and a lot of times individuals are asking us, hey, why you? What's unique about us? And what is unique about us is we very, very much are process driven. With the type of work we do, it's not about transactions, it's not transactional, it's not just let's do a few things. We want to go through our process, we want to develop a relationship with our family. So we've got a 3-step process that we follow. Step one, or part one, is really the connect step. Oftentimes it starts with a 15-minute checkup phone call. That's something that any individual out there can go right to our website and schedule time with us to do that anytime. Part of that connect step is also typically that first visit, which is that connection visit. And the goal there is really just to have good conversation with the individuals and families out there. Let's get to know each other better. At that point, the only decision we're looking to make is, do we continue through that process and go to part two? Part two is that strategy visit. That's where we want to take that conversation a little further. The goal we have there is really to continue to get to know each other a little better. We want to show the individuals that we're meeting with what it looks like to have a retirement plan. We know that this stage of life is new for the individuals that are at that pre-retirement or retirement stage of life. So we want to help you understand what it means to have a retirement plan. At that step, that's where we look to make a decision. Are we the right fit for each other? Do we want to work together? And we only continue through that process as long as both sides say yes. Nobody's here to force a relationship. We want to make sure ultimately that the individuals that we're meeting with are looking for what we do. So if we get to that part of the process and we advance to part three, we say all the time, that's where the fun begins. That's really the planning part of the process and the relationship that we have with our individuals and families.
And part of the fun part of this process for everybody is it is very organic, right? We're not trying to work with everybody. Not everybody has to work with us. We're looking to work with people who understand the value of what a retirement plan brings to the table as you make that transition. And those who are looking for a retirement planner, that's what we're looking for. And then you, of course, are looking for whatever it is that you're looking for. And through that process, organically, we can determine, does this make sense? Does the relationship work? If it doesn't, that's fine. You have more information that you can take to help develop your plan. And if it does make sense, then we continue on to that next step, and you get to really visually see what your retirement looks like.
Thank you for watching this clip of Retiring Today, and don't forget to subscribe. If you have questions about your retirement plan, take advantage of the complimentary 15-minute retirement checkup phone call.